Okay, hi guys. I'm going to do things slightly different today so that we kind of build it all into one. So I don't have all disclaimers and whatnot. It is January the 26th, Tarot Thursdays. I have my phone on low charge connected, so hopefully I've got enough charge to do this. I rarely do it this way, so I'll try to be as intuitive as possible. Normally I flow better with fingers, like as in I'm a writer. So when all I do is go to the keyboard and then look at the card, and normally it just flows through my fingers. That is my process. That's how I am. So we'll see how it goes doing it by voice. And obviously here's the 3 cards. So I'll give you a little pause time here for you to then pause the video here, because we're going to continue in the same video with the reading, and I'm not going to type it out. I'm just going to read it for you right here through the video. So look at the cards, close your eyes, take 3 deep breaths. Open your eyes. And the card that jumps out at you the most is the card that will have a message for you. So here we go. And I don't have my little lamp kind of like hooked up over here, so I'll do the best I can with the bad lighting. I'm just going to move those 2 up there to give me a chance to have a look. And we have Major 14, Integration, Agriopi. Depends how you pronounce it. I'm not a pronunciation expert, believe me. I have my own language. And you'll see quite a few tiny details there in symbolism. Obviously you'll see some powerful imagery there as well. This is what comes into me when I look at a card, is all of the symbology and the impact hits me, and then I normally go to the keyboard and then a story forms in my mind for that moment and time. And then I type it out, and then I normally record it for you. So let's see how it works this way, okay? Right, okay. Agriopi is an epithet that actually means wild-eyed, fierce-faced. So that's that aspect there immediately. Integration, as we know, unification or amalgamation. So there's the messages in that regard. What I actually see is that there is many elements going on right now in a person's life. So therefore, the moment someone is taking a deeper look at themselves, their internal workings, the many nuances that they may possess as they look at themselves in a mirror or as they're looking at others around them. There is always more than one side to person and to situations and to the self. As with Hecate, which this is the Hecate Tarot, there is always kind of like a triplicity. So here we have the horse, we have the black dog or the wolf, we even have the serpent there, and then we have the like a kind of the female goddess aspect, like whether it's Hecate Agriopi, or it could even be like a Lilith type thing with the serpent. It's someone that is taking like this figure here, taking a long, wide-eyed look at themselves, keeping their eyes open and really having to take a good look into what's happening right now. Okay, so like I said, I don't flow so well with voice. The message for this person is, it is part of the process. You are facing things that you didn't expect. You are in a time line at the moment where deep reflection is the only way to actually find clarity. Take a look at everything around you and, look at the smaller print, look at the finer details. Don't be scared off by like the big harsh first impact that you're seeing. Like, I mean, obviously the first impact you see with this card is this big face or the blood spill on the chest. Don't be frightened by that. Look for the finer details, like, and kind of like understand that everything that we look at in life is always a reflection of what we might perceive, what we have experienced, what we might fear. So basically, take a deeper look around, deeper look in yourself. Don't be afraid to, use integration in your life at present. Okay, because it is a diving board into a new pathway. Okay, told you I'm better at writing. Okay, second card up, the Four of Keys. Okay. Now this came up recently for me in a different way. I'm going to read it as I intuitively read on this site for you today, though. This is somebody that has kind of like really flourished in recent times, really felt that they've found a way to understand themselves, found a way how to cope and kind of stand in their own presence. How to even find elements of themselves they can be proud of and like and feel confident to show the world and to offer to the world in way of service, in way of friendship, in way of advice, or in way of just pure being themselves. So I mean, there's been an element of growth that has kind of like brought them out of the ground. They've started to flourish, they've become the flower. They're sitting on top of the flower, but then they still have all of these keys and this kind of, this storm or this impact coming from above, like this spiritual impact or this earthly cosmic energy that is still impacting. So in that regard, it's like the keys are there for you to understand, okay, this is the next step. I've kind of come out of the earth, what do I do now? The earth is in chaos. How am I supposed to deal with that sort of thing? I'm just human. So the keys is to look to the divine, look to spirit, have the confidence that you have now got that foundation. You have got your 2 feet on the earth. You have managed to grow, got a strong stem. You have blossomed. You're not going to die. You're not going to wilt. You're still on the upward journey. So that's basically what I'm seeing in that card for you today. And the third card, which you will recognize from last week, as I recall, Major 25, Power Brimo. And as you will know if you've listened to my videos or been here over the last few months, is that each time I would read this card or any card that might have repeated is going to be a different one, a different message each week. It does not mean the same thing each week in the slightest. That's not how I read, even if I am kind of like developing my reading style. So today, this is accepting the power within you, of which the divine and the cosmic forces has gifted you. To have the foresight as well as the fire and the strength to actually then take the next step. Okay, the world is already in your hands. You are the crystal, you are the vessel, the like not catalyst isn't the right word, like how the channel, yeah, like how you would use crystal as a channel or psychic as a channel vessel. So I mean, like, you are the vessel for this divine energy, for to then bring it into the earth plane. So the world is in your hand, not just for you personally. It's not that you've got your world now in your hand, that you've got a grasp on your own life and your own world around you. It's that you're now in a place where you can actually kind of like be a vessel for the divine, or for the higher kind of like levels of the world, and the spiritual kind of side of things, and to actually draw that down within yourself, but then to have the strength and stability to actually be able to apply that onto the earth plane, have the world in your hand and be able to apply that outwards to the world. That's what I see today in the card. I still see that there is there, like here, there is still steps, like levels, like I see that as pyramids, really, like that there is still a pyramid to the higher self. There's still a fire in the heart. There's still like a little kind of there's still room for tipping over the edge, like there's still room to you're on a point there, like, so I mean you could kind of like topple off the balance slightly, but at the same time you've got such a firm grasp that I think that any kind of tipples or off balances that you might find yourself in, that you know where to go and how to bring yourself back up to point, like that's what I see today. I really hope that the change over to a voice reading as opposed to me typing it out in my kind of poetically writer way was as beneficial to you all, that it worked for you, that you managed to get a message from the cards, that there was a little insight or guidance to help you through any troubled times or any clarity of any questions or queries that you might have at this time. What is nice that I see here is that it all is self-development and growth that I'm seeing in all three cards. I'm not seeing any blockages. I'm not seeing any kind of like depressions this week, or and that's quite like last week there was a lot of suicides and stuff, so I mean it was a powerfully dark week. This week is looking more on the flip side, that people are like have found a way to get through that and to perhaps start moving onwards. It's all about self-development this week. So please comment below your feedback. Let me know if this is the preferred method you would like to see from now on Tarot Thursdays, or if you would prefer me to do it the type out way, so that you've still got a hard copy to be able to read through and digest in that way as well. Give feedback. Let's get involved. Let's make this an open exchange. Let's interact a little bit more. And I shall see you next week.